Hello, Garrett. How are you doing?
Good, John. Thanks for being on here and giving us the Zoom Casa case study. I appreciate it.
Hey, not a problem at all. So I got a couple of things here. I got a few goals of this call. Thing number one, anybody that listens all the way through it, they will have more information than they had before. And I can make a guarantee. This will not be for everybody, but it could be for everyone. So those are my guarantees, my promises. And I have no idea which one of your sellers, buyers, different people out there we may be a fit for. All kinds of people run into all kinds of different scenarios. So I'm just going to start with who we work really well with, show you some properties, some different stuff that we've done. And from there, this may be something that if you're watching this right now, this may be something here over the next 2 minutes, you can just say, this is not for me, and check yourself out. But here's what we do, and we do a really good job of it. So we help real estate agents, we help lenders, and we help homeowners out coming up with creative solutions outside of what would be a normal traditional sale, right? You put it on the market, you wait 30 days, 60 days, 180 days, depending on the market, to sell your home. There are a lot of people out there that need a faster solution. Maybe you have a situation where you must sell your house before you can buy the next one. If that's, you can't go out, you're not just independently wealthy and can buy the next one cash, you might want to keep listening. Let's say you own a home and you know that this home would sell for way more money if you put a little bit of extra into it. 25 grand in renovations, a new bathroom, maybe some carpet, and doing those things will net you 50, 60, 70 grand more. If you know that's you and you can't afford to go and do it yourself beforehand, maybe you might want to listen to. If you have a parent that's elderly that might end up in a nursing home, senior living, something like that, and you don't right now have a boatload of cash in your pocket to pay for it, but they own their house free and clear, we might be a solution for that. If you are just in a situation where you've got dogs, you've got pets, you don't want the inconvenience of a traditional listing, this might be for you. And so I'll give you all of those things. And there's probably 100 other use cases. People that are behind on their payments, people that bought a house to be an Airbnb. They now think that's a terrible life. They want to turn it back into a single family home and sell it. And here's just some trends I'll give you that we see across the whole country. And we get leads all over the place. I don't know what agency you're with, but we are in most of the largest realtor firms. They have a little place they go and get offers. We get those. We talk to hundreds of clients every week. If you're on realtor.com and you're clicking get offer, we get those. We talk to those people. And here's just, I'll give you the lay of the land and the trends that I'm seeing. If you have a home that you're thinking about selling in today's market, here's what I see. All across, I'm in Michigan. If you guys are in Minnesota, so all across the country, you have different pockets, different markets. The one consistency I will say across any market, any place is this. If you have a home right now that is turnkey, 100% suite, ready to go, these homes, and priced appropriately, these homes are selling like hotcakes. Here in Michigan, these homes are selling for, most of them over ask with multiple offers. That's what we're getting here in Michigan right now.
Same thing for us. And
okay, awesome.
Same
the
thing
Midwest,
for us
people
in Seattle.
want to live
and yep.
Yeah,
and then teeing up, I'm sure your next point too is the flip side of just the ones that aren't dialed are sitting, because we have the most inventory in Seattle that we've had since 2012, 2013.
Okay.
The amount of listings online, stuff that's not selling. So same exact thing.
Yeah, we see it all over the place. Right? Very common. And your internet's cutting in and out a little bit. I just moved you to a better view there as well. So what we're seeing a lot of is just what Garrett said, is that you have turnkey homes. They're selling really well, right? They want them to be done. And then on the far other spectrum, if you have a home that's as is, and it's dumpy and if it needs some work, there's a lot of people out there, rates are a little bit higher. They're looking at going in, doing the fixer-upper stuff themselves, putting their own sweat equity into it. So you want to be on one end of the spectrum or the other. Where you do not want to be is almost turnkey, right? Because if you think you can go and compare the prices that you're seeing for a turnkey house to yours that needs new carpet, you can't. If the new carpet's 20 grand, they want 25,000 off the price. If they needs a new roof and it's 15 grand, they want 30 off the price because they have to go through the headache and the aggravation. So being almost turnkey or almost as is the place that listings go to die, and you go to have grief, heartache, and heartburn. So you do not want to be in that. You want to be in one under the other. I don't care which one you choose. Garrett will probably list it for you either way, but we help solve that problem on either end of the spectrum. And then just across the board. So we have a lot of use cases, and that is a trend we see all across the market. So here's what Zoom Casa does really well. I'll give you our genesis, how we got started. The founder of our company is an attorney, graduated from law school, was doing his stuff, started buying properties. Ended up owning about 2,500 properties, doors over a window. Ended up getting shot at over an Xbox, said, I do not want to do that anymore. But learned how to go in and renovate properties, split properties, what strategic money could you put someplace and do it. And from that point, we got started back in 2018. They started with a pre-sale prep program where they were just going through and helping you do that part, charging you some money and helping you. And then they started just buying properties outright. And now we've got a program that I think is our flagship program. It's called the Cash Offer Plus. It's a hybrid between the two. And we'll walk through what that is. But we have done literally thousands of these properties. We buy about $1 billion of homes a year. We're on realtor.com. We're in with all of the major real estate companies. So this is something that we've done a lot of times. And I could show you really quickly. I can show you oodles. I think I'm sharing.
Yeah,
Oodles
yeah,
of
you can
different
see it here now.
renovations that we've done, right? Before and afters all over the place. And this is for somebody that's looking at coming in and allowing us, right? The as is value. We put 120 grand into it. They ended up getting 64,000 extra. And this is a UK, this plays out over and over all across the country. So we can show you all kinds of it. We're really good at it. We think it's fun, right? An extra 300, extra 246, extra million on that one. So there's a lot of scenarios like that.
A lot of scenarios like that. And John, too, I'm glad that you said that you guys have been around since 2018, because that's, I first heard about you guys in spring of 2020, working with a title and escrow company. Said, you've got to use our listing prep program for a seller who in spring and summer of 2020, their contractors weren't allowed to work. And so they were off the clock and we were scrambling to find something. So using your guys' program helped on a listing prep. Of course, it's as we were shut down here in Seattle, the market took a pause, but it didn't slow down at all. It sped back up through the summer. So it was a great thing in spring of 2020 to do the listing prep with Zoom Casa. And then it took off and closed from there. So it's nice that it's not just a fly by night or just a small fun. There's many years of case studies and examples.
And we're probably a little bit different than most of our competition. There's other people out there that do the same thing we do. We're, I would say, still more of a mom and pop shop, in that our CEO is still very actively involved. We underwrite deals in-house. We don't have some little box that either you fit into or you don't. And we're pretty flexible as far as what we'll do. We'll go outside of the norm. But again, we have, and I'll explain it when we walk through what one of our net sheets look like, how we underwrite a property and how we determine how much money you get or you don't get. But at the end of the day, we only collect a fee. We're not buying your house and then getting all the upside. We only collect a fee. All the upside goes to you. And Grant, we want it to sell for as much as we can because our fee is based on the total sales price. But I'm trying to be also cognizant kind of the time here. So if you're one of those people that maybe are looking at doing something outside of the traditional norm, or you're even the same person that will buy an $8 Jimmy John's sub and pay $15 to have it delivered, if that's, you're already using a service similar to this. And people do it every day. Uber Eats makes a lot of money. So let me do this. I'm going to walk you through an actual scenario. I'm just going to pull up, let me pull this up, but I'm going to dump the property so we're not looking at someone's actual property. I'll just put sample in here before I do that. And we will look at a theoretic property. And this is something we look at literally hundreds of these every single day. And we'll make up a little story here and we'll see what we can do. And tell me if this story is not close to what we have there. This is what I'm seeing 100 times every single day. I'm real close here to having my numbers work out. So, okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to share a screen and just walk you through a scenario and we'll paint a picture for you. I'm going to hit share and we're back over here. Let me expand this out so I still see you. And I'm going to do this also, make this a little bit larger. So I'm just going to look at a sample property right now. This would normally be where we put a property address, but we'll just say, we'll call it sample 123 anywhere America. And I'm going to go through the people right now. Here's their scenario. They're elderly. Depends on how old you are. I'm in my 50s, so elderly is different than somebody else. But let's say they're in their early 70s. They're looking at downsizing. They want to go someplace warmer, and they can't move, though. Fixed income. They cannot get out of this thing until they sell this house. And they need some of the proceeds to go down to Arizona, where they want to live, to be closer to the grandkids. And traditional listings probably not going to work. Their house has got a lot of clutter in it. It needs new carpet. It needs a little bit of improvements. Right now, they've had it listed, been sitting on the market for a little while. It's at 540. The original agent that got it there started them at 575. They've now talked them down to it every 2 weeks. It's a brutal discussion about trying to get it to them. We get on phone with agents all the time, and we ask the agents, I know where you got it listed. I don't even care about that. Where is it actually going to sell? And often the number's two different things, and they're just working on. And again, this is not a you thing, but you guys all know agents. They go out, they buy the listing with some pie in the sky number, and then they work on actually getting it to a realistic point. All we care about at Zoom Casa is what it's actually worth. I don't care. You can list the house for 94 million. You can list it for whatever you want, but what's it actually going to sell for? So scenario here, it's currently listed for 540, started at 575. Seller's not real happy. I talked to the agent. What do you really think it's worth? We had to go and sell this thing in the next 30 to 60 days. What do you think it's going to sell at? The feedback we're getting from open houses is it needs carpet. The basement's a little bit musty. It smells a little bit funny. And the bathrooms, they're just a disaster. And if we were able to put new countertops in and the appliances are from 48, we would be in really good shape. So if we did put 60 grand into it, what does that do to the price? I think I'd probably be pushing close to 700. Right? And I'm like, okay, so 700, let's even stay conservative. Let's say that's 685. So these are our assumptions. And if we do our assumptions correctly up front, the numbers should be plus or minus a few percentage across the board. Again, it's still a guess. I still don't know what the market will pay. Rates could go to 30%. Nobody will ever buy another house. But we want to take the best information we have today and put it all in there. So this is what we have. Then what Zoom Casa does, where we set aside an escrow holdback. What this is your money. We're just not giving it to you up front. So unlike a traditional offer where this risk is all done via you getting a massive haircut on what you receive back, we set this money aside and it's not in your first check, it's in a second check. And then we ultimately advance, we'll go up to a 90% initial advance, depending on region, those kind of things. 85 is our highest, but there are some exceptions we'll make. And then there's other properties. If you got a condo in a place with 18 other units for sale and nothing's selling, and it's 400 days on the market, we're going to give less. So these numbers here, we kind of work through that. It's on an individual basis. The way Zoom Casa makes our money, we're a concierge service. We come in, we buy the property, we handle and work on the renovations. So we're there in the middle. You're paying us a fee for our services. We only charge 5%. And for the headache of selling, listing, the peace of mind, I think we're super cheap. Everybody will decide what that is. Then every month that we own the home, we charge 0.75. If your house sells in 1 month, we only charge 0.75. If it takes 2, we're charging 1.5%. If it takes 6, we're charging more. We didn't think it was right to charge a flat fee when a lot of our houses sell faster. We didn't think it was right to charge 6 months and then have a home sell in 3 and not give anything back. So now it's every 30 days, that goes up and down. But most of our homes also sell somewhere in the 120 to 150 day mark. So that's why I've got it put there. And then we also realize we've got real estate agents. They need to get paid. They're what kind of keeps our industry moving. So we've got 3% to a buyer's agent and a listing agent. And then we also just make an assumption of 1% for closing costs. So these are our assumptions. This is the hard part. The easy part's what comes next. And I'll show you what that looks like. Here's all of our assumptions again. 540 is where it's listed. 520 is what it's actually worth. You owe 265 on a mortgage. You can't move. You're stuck there. You can't do a thing. Our renovation budget's 60 grand, and the house would be worth 685 when it's all said and done. So here's how this would work on this particular thing. We would go in. We're going to set aside 78,000 on the escrow holdback. We're going to advance 442,000. We're gonna, of that, we're gonna hold out the renovation budget. We're gonna hold out our agent fees. We're gonna hold out what would be our closing cost on our second transaction. We've got our Zoom Casa fee, our Zoom Casa carrying fee. We're gonna pay off your mortgage. And when we do that initial closing, we've got some closing costs. So you're gonna get about $34,000 cash in your pocket today to go buy the new place in Arizona. Your mortgage is paid off. You're no longer worrying about it. This is what a cash offer looks like. Here's where the plus part kicks in. So that's the cash offer. Here's the cash offer plus. Once this happens, we take ownership of your house. We take title. We now are the owners. We go out and execute on all the bids that we had beforehand. We'll know exactly what work we're going to do before we close, not after. It's not a guessing game. We're going to go out, execute on the bids. We'll get that done. We'll make sure that it's there. We'll work with your agent, pictures, the whole 9 yards, but we will get that done and have done it a lot of times. From there, we go back, we relist with your agent. Your agent does what they do. They get the home now sold at a much higher price because it's a different house. It's renovated. It's that turnkey house. We get reimbursed for our original money. You're getting a second check, in this case for $243,000. So on something like this, you'd end up netting 276. I'll just do some math over here on my handy dandy calculator. 276 plus we're paying off your mortgage, 265. So you're netting back about 540 on a house that has a current market value right now of 520. And if you go out and sell it at 520, what you're actually going to get is not 520. You still have to pay about 9 or 10% in fees. So what you're going to get there, you're actually netting about 460, 468 after you pay your real estate fees. Like a lot of these fees, you're paying regardless. You're paying an agent, whether we're doing it, you're doing it, you're still paying one. You're paying closing fees. And if you did it on your own, every month that you still own the home while you're waiting on them to sell it, you're still making a mortgage payment, right? So you still have carrying costs. You still have headache. You can't buy your new house. You don't know if the chicken comes first or the egg. So you're in a bad spot. So we come out, we're helping you get out of that mortgage. We're going to have a professional company that actually does renovations. We've done this before. It's not your first flip when you're 72. And we're going to go in and see to it that it works. And you're probably, in this case, netting back, I don't know, you're going to net 30, 40, probably $50,000 more that you can go and move into your Roth IRA or wherever you want to put it. 50 grand more on that scenario. We see that play out every single day, all over the place. Yeah, that's it in a nutshell. I don't know what I missed. I tried to go fast, but also be concise.
John, you did great. And it's so awesome to see too the transparency of this net sheet here and seeing everything. I think back to what you started with of there's so many people that fall in between it's just under turnkey and it is above as is sell it. And what's that middle ground for? Your guys' program is exactly for that. And seeing the transparency of where the commissions are, where the fees are, that's all great. And I know for me on the real estate side, when I'm working with a client, I know the property better than anyone else. So being able to be the person that turns around and say, yes, we had it listed when it looked like this before. Here are the upgrades we made. Here is why the price is now that. It's so easy to speak to that and better to speak to that to buyer's agents when they call or at an open house.
One of the most powerful things that I think we can do right now, where you have a market that either has homes that blow off or these really stagnant things, is to do what I like to call is a listing reboot, where we come and it's been stagnant, nothing's happened. It's like you're going to get, if you list at the wrong price initially, you're not just going to work down to what would be the price. You're going to work down to 5% below what you could have sold it for initially because it's stale. It's old. Nobody wants day old bread. You go to Subway, they sell you like Jimmy John sells you the bread for a quarter. That's yesterday's bread, right? Like you can go and buy it for a quarter. It's not worth as much as soon as it's old and stale. So that being said, you've got that whole component. And if you can go in and justify why you're relisting it at a higher price, hey, it's a new buyer. They did a reno. People that were at your house before that didn't like it because it smelled weird, they're going to now show back up. They didn't like your knickknacks, your ornaments, your cat, right? Whatever it is. People don't like houses. So when it's clean, it's staged, and it's ready to be sold, it's actually ready to be sold. Prior to that, it's just you're crossing your fingers and hoping. If you're living there trying to sell your home, people do it every day. Just saying it's not the optimal way to do it. And then I can just share a couple of other things that I think are important, and then we'll try and just bail out of here. But let me hit the
Yeah.
share button again.
Please, thank you.
And I'm just going to share this in a generic PowerPoint. But so at this point, this is a little bit old, but this is just a heat map of where we've closed multiple properties. We have done something now, I believe, in every state and maybe even Puerto Rico. So we are all over the place. We do this day in, day out. We really believe in setting on the exact same side of the table as your seller. So we are there with you. We want to see it sell for as much money as possible because we're collecting a fee on the final sales price. So we don't want to see your house. We want it to sell as high as possible. Most people are looking for three things. And I think this is across the board in anything you do. Humans are looking for three things. The thing that every seller wants is this. They want a little bit of certainty. They want to know that it will sell fast. So you as a seller, make sure that when you're talking to an agent, you're interviewing people, that they have a track record of selling properties quickly. So you want it to sell fast. Speed is important. You don't want to have a listing that takes 2 years. You want it to be as convenient as possible. You do not want to host an open house 5 days a week for the next 2 years. That's not a lot of fun. And then I think most people want to know that they get a fair price for their house. Anybody that's listening to this, like whether you got close to the max the market's ever sold or whatever, you just want to be fair. And those are the three pieces. You need that certainty to move forward with someone. And if you don't feel certain about the person, they're not showing up with enough options for you, and they don't present something like this, all they have is a one-trick pony, then guess what they sell you? If I only have a gray suit, I only sell you a gray suit. You want to make sure that the agent you're dealing with is able to provide you a solution that encompasses all of these, or don't list with the agent. I don't care how good their photos are or what kind of dance they do on TikTok. They have to have optionality for you to be able to bring you the most money. And it's a matter of fact in today's world. Information's easy. Being able to actually structure and put together a real deal and help you is not easy. And your ability to dance on TikTok does not dictate how well you can actually do this. Yet a lot of people choose their agent that way. So these are the things that people want. We got a ton of before and afters. I'm not even gonna, this one is actually neat. This is a really good example. This is before, after, before, after, before, after. And you'll love the kitchen, right? That's how many knickknacks were there. Before, after, before, after, before, after. Is it awesome? No, we didn't do all along, but we still. And this is a particular property. We ended up putting about 285 grand into this home to get it back there. So a lot of different things, lots of different ways to do it. And I'm going to stop sharing again. And I will just quickly walk you through the process when we deal with a homeowner. So if this is something you want to do, reach out to Garrett, his team, whoever's listening to this, but reach out to Garrett. He'll point you in the right direction. What we do is we like to make sure that we get all the numbers dialed in first. From there, we will give you as the seller back a video, a walkthrough, a one-on-one. We will do a consult on your property. From there, we'll give you the numbers in writing. We'll give you a net sheet, and we'll give you a video explaining. From there, take it, sniff around, poke into it, check it out. Give it the good old sniff test. Does this work for what I'm trying to accomplish? It may not. If it doesn't, that's cool. We're not a solution for everybody, but we could be. Give it the good old sniff test. If it does make sense and you want to have the next conversation, we'll get on a call with you, myself, or one of the people on my team, Garrett. We'll walk through all of your numbers. If that's a thumbs up, let's go. We get you out of contract. And once you sign the contract, the next step from there is we jump in, order appraisals, inspection, all the stuff we need to. And it's usually taken us about 3 weeks to get you that first check. And then the second check, right? It depends on renovations, those kind of things. But we, unlike some of our competition, we do not have a point on time when you lose a second check. We have one big competitor that after 6 months of being listed, they forfeit their second check. Regardless, it could be 400 grand. It's just they give it up after that period of time. And it forces you to lowball your property, maybe sell it for a lot less than you would need to. We want to see everybody win, and we sit on the same side of the table. So that's kind of it. I'm at 34 minutes. We were trying to do this in 30 minutes. I talk a lot. My voice hurts.
Oh, you're great.
So what did I miss?
Yeah, you didn't miss anything. I just want to point out that last thing of really showing the speed, certain speed, consistency, and value that then create the certainty needed there. So what were those three again? speed, what in value?
Everybody wants speed,
Yep.
convenience, and
Convenience.
value. Yeah. So, and that's why like
Oh, completely.
everybody that lists with you, Garrett, they list with you because they believe you're going to be able to do it fast. You're going to make it more convenient to the next person and you're going to bring them a good value. And you have to outperform every other agent in those categories, right? Or I guess you could, they're different, right? Components, right? Maybe it's your, I don't know, it's your daughter that's a real estate agent and they list with them, even though it's going to be a terrible experience, but I can't get around that part. But
Yep.
those are
Yep.
what people are looking for in any buying decision.
Well, John, that's super helpful. Yeah, I definitely have a few people in mind that fit this that are current clients now, that fit those categories of living in the house, want to move, but not quite there yet, or the downsized senior. We got to get you to a retirement home and it's just a 30 or 40-year-old house because it hasn't made sense to do a remodel with all the stuff in there. So now's the time to maximize the sale and get you into that retirement home. So you have the money to do the deposit, move in, then we can clear the rest of the stuff out and do that listing refresh like you're talking, or get it ready to go on the market first time.
Yeah. I like to say that we could be a fit for everyone. You don't know the scenario, right? Every house is different. They all have a front door, but when you open the front door, the story behind it is different. Everybody has different needs, different wants, different desires, and our feelings don't get hurt if it's not right. If you have all the time in the world, you have money to do your own renovations, to maximize your listing, to stage it, to do whatever. A traditional listing will almost always yield you the most money unless we're doing strategic renovations. And that's totally fine. Most properties will list that way. But on the ones where you need a little bit of help, awesome, bring it our way. We are really good at what we do. So hopefully this was helpful. Like I said before, it may or may not be for you, but I can guarantee that there are people that will hear this, that this is a great solution and they just didn't even know it existed.
Thanks, John. Really appreciate it.
Awesome. So Garrett, like how should people get a hold of you? If they're in here, they're going to know how to get a hold of you.
Yep. It's been on my newsletter. It's been in my email, but I would say go to the sellwithgb.com website. It's my initials, sellwithgarrettbrown.com. That'll have on there a contact form and some testimonials like you showed at the beginning too, of past homes that have sold and some different things like that. That's the best way for us to get in touch. And then we'll set up a consultation and then go from there.
I have one other thing. This will be, you will see, depending on when you're watching this, Garrett will have a link soon back where you can actually go to a website of ours that he does, where you can go and see what our theoretic kind of initial value might be underneath him. I can give you a little sneak peek. This is in a beta phase right now, but Garrett will have one of these within the next 2 weeks. This has been my baby trying to get launched, but he will have something that looks just like this. These are just fake agents. This doesn't look like Garrett, but we'll just say that this is. He will have his own page where you'll be able to go in and put in your address, calculate my numbers, and it will give you what a basic program would look like right on the website. You don't have to fill anything out. From here, you could actually even put in your rental budget.
That's so great to see it from this side where we can do it on our own instead of waiting to hear back from your net sheet and then comparing that and everything.
Correct. So we're trying to make it easier.
Yep.
So we can give you all of the numbers here. And then if you want it, awesome. You can book a call with us. You can have it emailed. You can give us a call. But this will be coming in soon where this page will actually be directly for Garrett. And then when you show up on our website, we'll know that you came from Garrett, where you're at, those kind of things. It's in beta right now. It should be launched.
And it helps all of us that then I'm doing my homework ahead of time and you're not having to repeat yourself twice. I'm coming into our consultation knowing what you need to hit, knowing what we think we can get, and being able to come up with a plan to move forward.
Yeah, and also inside of there, just understand that our initial value is just like what we're getting from like Zillow and Zestimates. It's not a real value. Those are guesses. You need to have the help of a real estate agent to actually come up with the price. So the internet's great at things like where do I punctuate, but it's not great at telling you the value of your house, unfortunately. And so again, we got a lot of tools, excited about where we're going. And yeah, if you know anyone else, you just know somebody that's thinking about selling and needs our help, send them over to Garrett. He'll get them over to us. We'll take care of you. And that is it. So I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it as well.
Awesome. That is it. We can keep recording. Mark, you got to cut it off here. So cool.
Awesome, John. No, it's so great to see, like I said, that net sheet, the examples. And yeah, I know that with Mark's help here, we can package this up, put it out on YouTube, put it in save it and everything. And then, yeah, I'll want to make, like you said, these kind of pages. I'll do whatever. Is that in the school community as well of what's needed, or
Let me
just more
just
stay in
get you.
touch?
I'm going to give you a link right now for school.
Yeah.
I'm just going there. Go here, settings. I'm just going to drop this in the, actually, I'll send it to you right in the email.
Okay,
I think I've already
Great.
done that.
Yeah.
So inside of our school community, for any agents that you have, we have a bunch of cool stuff. Like inside of our classroom, we have webinars worth watching. The Silver Tsunami, it's got some just great stats about old people.
Yeah.
We've got there's all kinds of things in here. We post info all the time. So 1 or 2 times a week, right? We did a thing with a guy from Mom's House, which is really cool. It was a really good webinar. So we've got stuff in here all the time that we're posting. So definitely check that out. And this is just our new website. And so what we're going to do here, once it's live, you'll just put your info in. It takes us about 2 minutes to make your own page.
Yep.
And then anybody that comes in on your link will actually have you will follow them page to page. You can see Danielle's here. Even if they go to a different page, you will always be present there. So it's always pushing back to you as the agent. And the page will look something like this. It'll have your picture, you'll upload it. We'll put some stuff of you on there. And then we've got like, how does the program work? And you can use this to drive people to this program. So we think that this will be really helpful. A lot of agents have asked for stuff. Now we're going to be able to give it to everybody relatively simple.
Okay.
So we will get this over to you. I want to say it's less than 2 weeks till it's live, but again, I do lots of things.
Okay.
So, let me know. I've got your stuff. Just hit our CRM. Like I said, Kevin's out. If you have anything initially, you need a property looked at, bring it back to me. I may look at it myself, may kick it over to somebody on my team, but I will make sure that you get taken care of.
Great. Yeah, again, thanks, John. Thanks for stepping in. And it's great to have the level up here, and I can see your knowledge, pride, and care in what you do. So thanks for stepping in for Kevin. It makes a big difference. So I'll do my part to make sure that this is time well spent down the road.
Awesome. Let's have you done a property with us?
We tried to.
Come on.
Presented to set. I know.
It's been 5 years. You say you figured out. You're slacking.
Oh yeah. No, we did. Yeah, we did the first listing prep. Yeah, we did the first listing prep one through escrow, and that was a cool thing. But yeah, I just reconnected with Kevin last year. It was on an expired listing of mine.
Okay.
And we've gone back online, but I presented to him before we came back online, said, hey guys, your new price needs to be here, or you need to do this stuff. What do you want to do? Him and nothing. Then another one was, we were all gung ho, but the debt to income was 2. We thought he owed 300. It's only worth 600. We thought he owed 300. He owes 550, 575.
Yeah, now it needs to work, but bring them back through. And we have changed up with these videos we're sending out to the sellers. It makes a big difference. That way you don't have to present it per se. And it makes a big difference. Let me know what I can do to help. I will get this. I will have my assistant slice and dice it and do some different things, and we'll get it back out. It'll probably take him a few days. It's a national holiday in the Philippines tomorrow, so I will not see him again till Monday, but probably have it Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll have something back over to you.
Great. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Appreciate it, John. Bye.